People gave up millions of dollars to the nigga that molested me. People gave up millions of dollars to a family that molested me. This ain't about tearing down the hip hop museum that Bam built. Do you hear him? $20 million has been donated to a pedophile ring. The building can stand. The building, why y'all don't put a victim of child molestation in the home of hip hop? The museum. Why you don't put a victim in there? For all the things, you gave $20 million to a nigga that molested me? $20 million? Y'all gave $20 million to a nigga and his crew that molested me? Now I want y'all to understand something. Haas ain't backing down for nothing. When I go outside right now, I am a threat to a museum that is being ran by pedophiles. I am a threat to that. I am at war. I am at war with $20 million and niggas that's trying to silence me. So much to the point to where that 20 million, how much of that 20 million hits your pocket, Joe, that you actually speaking out about that museum? I'm not trying to stop that museum. Layla Wills, because I want y'all to understand what's going on, and one of the reasons why my page is shut down. My page is not destroyed. It is not down. I had to put my page to the side because it was being mass flagged. They took my monetization. They gave me strikes. So now if I get another strike, I'm not even monetized no more. They took the monetization off of all of my pages because of this museum. And I'm not going to say that some of these other people flagging these YouTubers ain't playing part in this too. Because Bambaataa got $20 million from the people. The people gave him $20 million. Chuck Schumer just gave another $5 million to the Hip Hop Museum. Layla Wills on this Monday coming up will be at Town Hall City Hall. I will put the address on my Instagram. You can go to Layla Wills' page and look at her videos where she's putting the Instagram. I'll be putting her videos inside my community tab so that y'all can see what's going on. This Monday, whoever could come out and go down to City Hall and stop these pedophiles. Stop these pedophiles. Along anyway. This page is not on the it's not in the algorithm. So the numbers is not going to be that high. And for the most part, if you want to know about what's going on with my big page by detail, you can go over to my Patreon. I explained that already. I want to get into something a little bit more without saying much. I do want y'all to understand I'm fighting for my life right now. Shall we begin?
Now talk about the shit nobody's going to talk about. The three founding fathers, Grandmaster Flash,
and Africa Bambaataa of the Universal Zulu Nation. Now, Africa Bambaataa has shit like Soul Sonic Force. You know, there would not be no Luke from Miami or no bass music or booty music if it wasn't for everybody sampling Soul Sonic Force, Africa Bambaataa. Okay? He's beyond a pioneer. Since I met the man, he was always stand up, always a nice guy. I'm not copping out. He was always about inclusion. He was always about, if you Asian and you love hip hop, if you white and you love hip hop, if you black and you Latino, it's inclusion. They would have these Zulu Nation anniversaries. This is where my brother would go, bring the cassette back, and how I learned about hip hop. Now, because we don't like these people, we have different things about them, we cannot exclude the history of hip hop music. We cannot change it to our likings. If there's a new because I asked my daughter the other day, what's the gender? She said, Dad, there's like 20, 30 genders now. Okay.
My daughter would have told me it's 20 or 30 genders. I'd have smacked in her mouth. I will never allow my child to be kidnapped by Satan's culture. You dig? I will never allow my children to be brainwashed. If you were born a boy, you are a boy. If you were born a girl, you are a girl. If you cannot accept yourself, I cannot accept you. See how that works? If you can accept who you are, then I can't accept who you are. It's simple.
So as you see, as time is going on, the world is progressing and the world is having different views of things, people who have a voice are starting to distort the facts. Now, I've been hearing for the last couple of years, like just before maybe like COVID, that there's rumors that Africa Bambaataa was, it hurts my heart to even say this. That's why I've never talked about it. But some people are accusing him of being a child pedophile or somebody who used to play with the kids. I wasn't there. I never seen nothing like that. Now, I'm not discrediting anybody who's a victim or anybody who said this really happened, it happened to them. I'm not trying to make you think I know and I was in his bed or I was in his room or I was around him to see stuff like that. Me, as a hip-hop fan, I only saw him at hip-hop functions and he was a graceful man. And so I heard little rumors like this. It was news to me because I never seen nothing, never heard nothing. And so I just said, let me mind my business and stay out of it because if I don't know it, if I can't stay.
Why would you mind your business, Joe? Why would you mind your business? Why wouldn't you go to Bronx River, being that you from the Bronx, and talk to Xavier Williams? Reach out to X, write him a letter. Why wouldn't you sit up there and talk to Brian? Not Mickey Benson, your old manager that you fired for stealing, allegedly. Why wouldn't you sit up there and have a conversation with Brian? One of the dudes that people know that's going to sit up there and tell you who exactly Bambaataa is and his story. But keep on. Because the reality of it is, I can't get with these lies that Fat Joe is telling out of his mouth. Because Peter Guns already told y'all, since he was in high school, he heard that Africa Bambaataa was touching children. Melly Mel told you, since back in the days for over 50 years, he done heard these stories about Africa Bambaataa. Africa Bambaataa is the boogeyman of the Bronx. He is the boogeyman of the Bronx. These rumors been around for over 50 years, but continue on being the liar, and I'm not going to bite my tongue. Fat Joe is known. You ever known somebody, and I say this respectfully, because even Fat Joe Crew say this when I talk to them, because I rock with Fat Joe Crew. Everybody out of his crew that I talk to say, Joe is a liar. He lies. Let's get back to you, Joe.
If I can't stand there, if I can't see it, I can't really tell you what it is. Now, for the respect of what he did in Zulu Nation, and I won't say, if it is proven that he's a child pedophile, that he's a piece of shit, he should die. It's a fact.
Let's cut this up. If it's proven, now, there is a victim that won a lawsuit against Africa Bambaataa right now because Africa Bambaataa in the Zulu Nation refused to go to court to answer the subpoenas. So by default, he already lost. He has been found guilty already. But that's in a lawsuit in the civil court. Me, Hassan Campbell, I'm a dude that's been locked up for multiple murders. So it was hard for me to get on a stand and point a finger at anybody. And I said from the jump when I first came out, I was never, ever, ever going to take the stand. But I was convinced to actually go to a lawyer, right? I went to a lawyer. The lawyer that I just so happened to go to, I didn't know Ron Savage, B Stinger, had the same exact lawyer. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, right? So therefore, being that me and B Stinger had the same lawyer, B Stinger, allegedly, he took a bag. The Zulu Nation paid him off. So he went from crying all over the internet to saying that Bam didn't really do that to him and it was a misunderstanding. He told my lawyer the same thing, so the lawyers got rid of me and B Stinger. This is why Bam never went to court. Now you understand? So now, Fat Joe, you have, matter of fact, let me let you finish. Let me let you finish. Because I want y'all to listen to his whole message. Anytime you see somebody saying something about me, play everything, not pieces.
I've always told you that, not about him, about anybody who does that, right? I haven't seen him get locked up. I haven't seen him, and it's not too hard to take a black man to jail for some shit people are saying. It just ain't.
Fat Joe, when have you ever seen a child victim, a boy, tell somebody that another boy touched them? You got dudes that get raped in jail that will die before they tell somebody in the streets that they got raped in jail. Fat Joe, stop playing. Please stop playing, because you're coming off like a master manipulator.
Right? So he hasn't got locked up. I haven't seen that, but I heard the rumors of people saying that.
So being that you heard the rumors, right? Why don't you go to the dudes that know you, that know me, because you know who's the common denominator between us, and ask them, what is Hassan Campbell's character? But you already know that. You already know that. You already know my character. You already know the type how I'm built. So you already know what you're saying out of your mouth is bullshit. At any given time, you could have pulled up on T-Mac. At any given time, you could call Miami on the phone and he could call Ant on the phone and you could talk to any of the niggas from the Bronx. But you already know that.
So now we got a big problem. We got a hip-hop museum that's run by Rocky, and the security, everybody's down. Look, everybody was down with each other. Even Fat Joe was Zulu Nation back in the days. Everybody was down with each other.
And Fat Joe is still Zulu Nation from back in the days.
A lot of the people that are trying to preserve the culture at the museum are either really, really tight with Bambaataa or were very tight with him. I'm talking about.
He just said that everybody at the museum basically is down with Africa Bambaataa. Now let me break this down for y'all. Matter of fact, let me let him finish talking so I can break this down. I'm gonna let him finish talking because I want y'all to understand something. This is where the beef is at. The Hip Hop Museum is the home of Africa Bambaataa. The Hip Hop Museum is the home, is the same people, the people that's running the Hip Hop Museum is the same people that allowed Africa Bambaataa to molest me as a child. And millions of other children this man done touched. The people that's running the Hip Hop Museum are no different from the people that's on the list of Epstein. Do you understand? Africa Bambaataa is equivalent to Epstein. And this is who Fat Joe is taking a stand with. Because he is part of the Hip Hop Museum. And I'm going to say, matter of fact, let me let Joe finish speaking.
Right. I'm talking about Ahmed. I'm talking about LG. I'm talking about Mickey Benson. I'm talking about everybody. Fat Joe was there.
The names that he just named. Ahmed was on Star's platform. LG, I made a video and told everybody that Africa Bambaataa made me watch him give LG oral sex when I was a child. This is why it was so easy for Africa Bambaataa to molest so many boys, because he took the older dudes that were supposed to be generals and warriors and made the young children watch him have sex with them older dudes. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So LG is part of the Hip Hop Museum, and LG aided and abetted in Africa Bambaataa and his child pedophilia ring. This is not allegedly. I watched it. Ahmed, a name that Fat Joe just named, this was Africa Bambaataa's roommate. All the crimes that was committed against the children, well, most of them was in Ahmed's apartment, where Ahmed's room and Bam's room was next door to each other. So when children was in Bam's room crying, Ahmed was sitting in the next room. Do you understand my pain and what I'm trying to say? Did you not know that, Fat Joe? Somebody tag Fat Joe so he can listen to this video. Because if you really a man of your word, Joe, you got kids, Joe. Joe, you supposed to be a real nigga, Joe. You got kids. You know Mickey Benson is the filthiest nigga on this earth. That's why he's not your manager anymore.
Okay, everybody. This ain't no chaos. This ain't, I'm just saying everybody knew each other, right? And was down with each other, right? So now there's people saying, yo, let's stop the Hip Hop Museum because these guys are cool with Bambaataa. These guys are this and this and this and this and that. Now we got the idea of, all right, do you stop the preserving of hip-hop culture, the hip-hop museum that people invested their whole lives into and gave up millions of dollars and went all out to get it done, to make the Bronx a destination across the country, to this, that, because this...
People gave up millions of dollars to the nigga that molested me. People gave up millions of dollars to a family that molested me. This ain't about tearing down the Hip Hop Museum that Bam built. Do you hear him? $20 million have been donated to a pedophile ring. The building can stand. The building, why y'all don't put a victim of child molestation in the home of hip hop? The museum. Why you don't put a victim in there? For all the things, you gave $20 million to a nigga that molested me? $20 million? Y'all gave $20 million to a nigga and his crew that molested me? Now I want y'all to understand something. Haas ain't backing down for nothing. When I go outside right now, I am a threat to a museum that is being ran by pedophiles. I am a threat to that. I am at war. I am at war with $20 million and niggas that's trying to silence me. So much to the point to where that 20 million, how much of that 20 million hits your pocket, Joe, that you actually speaking out about that museum? I'm not trying to stop that museum. Layla Wills, because I want y'all to understand what's going on, and one of the reasons why my page is shut down. My page is not destroyed. It is not down. I had to put my page to the side because it was being mass flagged. They took my monetization. They gave me strikes. So now if I get another strike, I'm not even monetized no more. They took the monetization off of all of my pages because of this museum. And I'm not going to say that some of these other people flagging these YouTubers ain't playing part in this too, because Bambaataa got $20 million from the people. The people gave him $20 million. Chuck Schumer just gave another $5 million to the Hip Hop Museum. Layla Wills on this Monday coming up will be at Town Hall City Hall. I will put the address on my Instagram. You can go to Layla Wills' page and look at her videos where she's putting the Instagram. I'll be putting her videos inside my community tab so that y'all can see what's going on. This Monday, whoever could come out and go down to City Hall and stop these pedophiles. Stop these pedophiles.